It's Ash from Super Videos back for another video for Season 3 of Fear the Walking Dead. This is going to be my episode review for 302, which was called The New Frontier. Now, a reminder, the review for 301 is posted, so before you watch this review, you might want to watch the review for 301 and then watch this, because I'm going to be referring back to what I said in that review. So, just so that you're caught up and you understand what I'm talking about, you might want to watch that review first. So let's jump right into this review. So the last episode ended with everyone basically escaping the military base after it was overrun by all the walkers. Then in this episode, we basically pick up a few hours after, because it's nighttime. We have shots fired at the helicopter right from the get-go, which was a bit weird. Just like the start of episode 1 felt a bit out of place and weird and no context and everything. Same happened here. We basically have Travis just getting shot out of nowhere. Now, I initially thought that he was shot in the neck, and then they revealed that he was bit, but it was actually that he was shot in the chest, perhaps the neck as well, but he was never bit. But then obviously we have Travis trying to jump down, Alicia trying to stop him, but then obviously he jumps, and that's basically the end of Travis. Travis is now dead at this point. Now, a few things I definitely have a problem with Travis's death in this kind of sequence. One is that it felt like it was out of nowhere and it wasn't big enough. Travis is like the main protagonist. Not only was it shocking, nobody saw it coming, which I don't have a problem that much, but the death itself felt like it wasn't special enough to be given to him. Just some random people just shot the helicopter and it was shot along the way. It felt like it would be a death that they would give to a secondary character, not a main character, especially the main character like Travis. So that definitely felt very wrong, and I definitely don't know why they did that. Now, I don't know if the actor playing Travis, Cliff Curtis, wanted to leave or what that was all about, but it definitely felt like they didn't build up the death, and it felt like it just happened out of nowhere. If you remember, they definitely did some hints and some building and showing us how tough he was, showing how much he cared about Madison, how close they were in the previous episode, like I mentioned even in my review. But still, it felt very much like out of place. So that definitely took me out of the scene a little bit, and I didn't enjoy it as much as I could have. And obviously, because Travis is the main character, now we're left hanging. What do we do now? Where do we go now? And to begin with, we didn't have a lot of characters anyway, and now they took out the main character. So I definitely have some concerns about Fear now. I was excited about Season 3, but now I just don't know. Because if they're gonna do these things, and it may have been for ratings, who knows, but if they're gonna do things like this, what's the point of us getting attached to the characters? Especially when there's no other characters really for us to be connected to. The only other characters that I really do feel connected to at the moment, Strand and maybe even Nick a little bit. Nobody else, not even Madison. And I think Madison is supposed to be the main character now, but I just don't feel that connection. So definitely a bad move on their part, I believe. Now, Season 3 may prove me wrong, and they may do something that makes me understand why they killed Travis, but at this point I just don't understand. We move to the hotel, we find Strand there, and we find that they let people in, and Strand basically lies and says he's a doctor and ends up helping people and treating them. And we find out later that that's a bad decision on Strand's part. But just for this specific thing, I don't know if it's just me or everyone feels the same way, but I didn't enjoy the hotel storyline. So I don't understand why they went back to it. What was the point of going back to it? So I feel like they definitely could have changed it up a little bit and have it so that Strand was out of the hotel when we meet him. Because I definitely don't think we're ever going to go back to the hotel, so those characters are probably never going to be seen again. They weren't great characters anyway. So what was the point of going back to the hotel? I just don't understand. But obviously we have Strand helping deliver a baby and stuff. So that was very cool to see. Strand slowly developing, and we're slowly getting to know him and getting to like him. So that's very cool. And then we have the part where he goes up to where Irene is. She ends up jumping and everything. So that was cool, but I feel like it was dragged a little bit. They could have shortened it. We have the part with everybody that was on the truck with Troy and everyone getting to the ranch that they were going to, which is basically Troy's father's ranch. I actually like the actor playing Troy's father, so I definitely think that he's going to be one of the cool characters later on as well. So then we get Madison and Nick finally coming in to the ranch and everything. Now, one more thing before I move on. In the last season, I think it was the last episode, we saw that this same guy, Troy's father, was the one who found Ophelia. But Ophelia is nowhere to be found. Maybe we'll find her later. Maybe that'll be a reveal later on. I definitely think it's the same character that found her. So that's definitely going to be something to look forward to, because I definitely think that Ophelia is in the same ranch that everybody's at right now. Then we go back to the helicopter and everything. We have the part with Alicia and Troy's brother kind of bonding a little bit, talking and everything. So that was cool development there. We have Alicia stepping up and basically showing how tough she is, saving Troy's brother. So that was very, very cool to see. I definitely enjoyed that. I think that's very good for Alicia's character and building her character, building the bond between Alicia and the other character, and also getting us to see a bit more about the other character and perhaps get attached to them a little bit. And then we have Strand getting kicked out and everything, so that's basically the end of the storyline with the hotel. And then we have the part with Madison finding out that Travis is dead. I definitely like that. I think that it was very emotional. They did a good job with the way they filmed that, with the acting and everything, so that was very cool. I definitely felt like they did a good job building that relationship with Travis and Madison and showing us that being broken and Madison losing Travis, so that was good. Then Nick holds Troy at gunpoint. I definitely don't think that we needed that. That felt like it was just there to make it tense, and it was unnecessary, to be honest. We knew that Luciana wasn't gonna die because we saw images of her being alive. We knew Nick wasn't gonna kill her because of how attached they are. We knew Troy wasn't gonna die because we know that he is going to be in episodes after. So that whole thing was pointless. So they could have definitely taken it out. I wasn't a fan of it. And we have the ending with Alicia, Madison, and Nick talking about, what they need to do. And Madison revealing that she wants to stay. She wants to make the ranch her home. And saying that if things don't work out, we'll just take the place. Now, I think that it was a good end to the episode. It was a good way to wrap things up for the second episode. So it was good in that regard, but I don't like the way they had Madison saying, if things don't work out, we'll just take the place. There's two problems I have with this. One, it's unrealistic. So it's a mixture of being unrealistic, of how evolved Madison is, where she shouldn't really be that evolved. The other showing that Madison just doesn't give a shit about everybody else, even though she knows everybody else is probably civilians, most of them. So that makes us hate her a bit. So it's a mixture of those. But then the second part of it, which is the biggest part, is that it's taken straight from the original TV show. If you remember, in the original show, The Walking Dead, in season 5, I think, at the end of it, when they have the thing with Rick versus Pete, that whole storyline where we have Carol talking to Rick. Carol says, if things don't work out, we'll just take the place. That exact line. So they basically copied it from the original show. So again, it's not original if you just take it from the original show. So I definitely think that that was unnecessary. It took me out, and they could have polished it up and changed it a bit. But other than that, I enjoyed the episode. I think it wasn't as strong as the first one, even though the first one wasn't that strong either. It was good, but it wasn't an episode that blew my mind. Same here, it was a bit less interesting to watch and a bit slower than the first episode as well. So in terms of a rating, I'm going to give this episode a mid-good rating. So just a reminder, I'm going to be posting the promo breakdown for 303 right after this. It's probably going to be up in an hour or two. So that should be up by the end of tonight on the channel, so you can go there and check it out. I'm probably not going to do a prediction for the third episode for fear, but for season 3, I'm going to be doing the reviews like this and also the breakdowns and other discussion videos along the way if we need to. That's it for this video. See you next time for another super video.